Hello beaders, welcome to Beachside Bead Boutique. My name is Jerry, and today we are going to be unboxing the December edition of Bargain Bead Box. And this one is called Time Traveler. This is for December 2025. I'm really excited to see what we have. So let's open this up and see what's in here, and also stick around to see what I designed from the contents of this box. Stick around and let's get beading. Okay, let me start by saying there are 19 items in this month's box, and the estimated retail value is $86.82. But if you subscribe to Bargain Bead Box every month, it's only $25, and that includes the shipping. And you always get beautiful beads to a specific theme for that month, findings, charms, pendants. It's a really good deal. So you'll see the contents of this box, and then every box that has, you know, a similar amount of beads, and like I said, bead caps. So it's just a really, really good deal because there are a lot of high quality things in this box. So I encourage you to check that out, and I will link Bargain Bead Box in my description box for you to easily check out their website. Okay, first we have 41 by 27 millimeter pocket watch pendant with 30-inch chain. And the retail value for this is $11.99. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, this is really pretty. Okay, I didn't expect this. Let's see, how do we open this? Here we go. Oh, would you look at this? This is really pretty. Okay, and the watch does work. See, it has the little stopper in there. And it does tell you on this sheet how to set it. So yes, this is a working watch, and it is very pretty in this nice copperish color. That's very nice. Okay. Next we have 25 by 18.5 millimeter peach moonstone teardrop pendant, and the $5.99 retail value. Okay, that's really pretty. So it's a pretty peachish brown with little swirls, and it's very smooth. And then this is the back. So the back is flat, so it is front and back clearly. And then if you see, the hole is drilled right up at the top here. It's a very pretty color, and it even has a shimmer to it. So as I'm looking at it, I see a sparkle in there. Very pretty color, very pretty. Next we have 5, 8 by 3/4 millimeter cultured freshwater pearl rice beads, 7 inches, $7.99. Oh, well, this is pretty pearls that look like rice. So yes, of course it has a very pretty pearl iridescent, I mean, as it is pearls. So very pretty, very nice. And next we have peach moonstone and sunstone nugget beads, 15 by 5 inches, $6.99 value. And that's pretty. We have peach, we have brown, we have cream, and it is a nice long strand. Very pretty colors and very smooth. And I assume the hole isn't too big. Yes, love these. Very pretty. And next we have 8mm champagne luster coated agate beads, dyed and coated, 7.5-inch strand, $5.99 value. And oh, look at these. These are pretty. They look like little bubbles. Very pretty cream color, creamy peach. And have a pretty luster on them. Very gorgeous. Look at those little bubbles. We have 6mm Alishan agate dyed round beads, 7-inch strand, $4.99. So we have a pretty khaki green, and it's just round. And it looks to be all one color. Looks like some peas. Very nice though with this color palette. I think it's, yes. I think this peach with the green looks really nice and earthy. And next, and I like, oh, I could tell I like these 8mm shell pearls, man-made round beads, coral pink, 5 inches, $4.99. And ooh, this is really pretty. This is a really pretty peach. I actually wish it was a longer strand because I do like these. And the same thing, they are one color, but very pretty color. Really, really like these. We have a 5mm plated hematite faceted round beads, deep bronze, 7.5-inch strand, $3.99. And ooh, that's pretty. And these are faceted. So of course we have some shimmer. Very pretty. And very pretty with these colors. I think this peach and green look really pretty together. And there's the hole. So it is a nice size hole for a small bead. Very nice. And next we have 6 by 4mm crystal faceted rondelle beads, vintage peach mix, 16-inch strand, $3.99. Oh, this is, oh, look at that sparkle. We have pretty peach and cream and grayish. And of course we have the sparkle and a nice long strand. Well, very pretty. Very nice. And look at how pretty it looks with these colors here. I think this is gorgeous. Next we have 4mm crystal faceted round beads, opaque coral, 14-inch strand, $2.99. Ooh, this is pretty. This is a very vibrant orange. And of course we have faceted, so we have the sparkle. And we have a nice long strand. Very pretty color. That is so gorgeous. Super pretty. Ooh, and look at it with these beads here. I mean, the color, that just pops. Everything with this bright orange. I think this looks very pretty, these colors together. Super pretty. 6mm crystal English cut faceted round beads, champagne luster, 9.5-inch strand, $3.99. Ooh. Oh, that is pretty. Look at these pretty crystals. So these are a champagne, off-white, kind of very, very pretty. Very sparkly. That is gorgeous. Super pretty. And again, looks very nice with the collection. And this just adds a glow. Those crystals look so pretty. We have 10-piece, 10mm porcelain round beads, vintage orange floral, $2.99. Ooh. Oh, look at these. These are porcelain. And look at this pretty orange flower. And they all have that flower on them with the, with a green leaf. Very pretty color palette. I love this. I love this orange and green color palette here. I think it's stunning. And it has a nice size hole. These are gorgeous. And I'm really, really inspired. Next, we have 2 pieces, 20 by 11mm brass filigree style swirl round beads, $5.99. Oh, these are pretty. Okay, so it's like a connector. Very pretty pattern on them. In this bronzish color. So 2 of these. Very nice. We have 6 pieces, 13mm fancy 4-loop links, $1.99. Oh, these are really pretty. Look at those. Okay, so these are links. I mean, they could just be a little charm. Those are really cute. And it's the same pattern on both sides. Very pretty little links. And is really cohesive with this set. Oopsie. Next, we have 10 pieces, 8 by 5 by 6mm round ball charms, $2.99. Okay, so we have little brass little charms. So they're just round little charms. So see, it already has our little loop on there. Ready to hang as a charm. Okay. Love that. We have 10 pieces, 9 by 8mm fancy coin spacer beads, $2.99 value. Okay, so these are beads. And that pretty color with a nice design. I guess it looks like a stopwatch kind of a pattern. Very pretty pattern. I like these, and I think it is very cohesive with this collection. You see that pretty pattern on there? And then the whole goes from side to side. We have 40 pieces, 7mm scrolled bead caps, $3.99. And this is something they pretty much always add in their boxes is bead caps. So whatever the theme color is, they give you bead caps to match that. And like I always say, bead caps are something you could use for any kind of a project. So it is very nice that they pretty much always add these in their boxes. And these have a very nice, pretty swirl pattern on here. Just trying to turn it so you guys can see. Pretty pattern, very nice. They're not very big, so it's for a smaller bead. But it is pretty design and is very cohesive with everything else. And you get 40 of those. And we have one more. We have 17mm vintage style brass spring ring clasp, $1.99. Okay, this is pretty. So this is a clasp. If I can figure out how to use it. Spring ring. Okay, so here. Okay, so let me, oh, this goes here. No? No? I thought this, it looks like this opens. It should open right here. Here. Maybe. Okay, so this is another, I don't know. I guess I'll have to watch a tutorial and see how to work this because I'm not sure and I don't want to break it, but it's very nice. Okay, guys, well, here is the December edition of Bargain Bead Box's monthly box Time Traveler collection. So very, very pretty colors. I love the peach and the bronze and the green. It's very, very nice, very cohesive. And yeah, I really, really like it. There's some really, really pretty items in this box and very pretty colors. Not really what I would expect for December, but all in all, it is very pretty. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and come up with a design, and we're going to create something in just a few minutes. So stick around. Okay, beaders, so we are going to make a triple strand bracelet with the items from Bargain Bead Box for the month of December, Time Traveler. So this is the layout plan that I have. So we'll see if, how everything fits and works as I'm beading, of course. I may change some things, but yeah, so this is just kind of a general layout of how I want it to look. Okay, so the beads that I have plan for this is the 8mm plated hematite, the 8mm Ashland agate, the fancy coin spacers, the fancy loop links, and I do have a toggle clasp, and I picked this one out from Bargain Bead Box or Bead Box Bargains Companion Bundle to Winterberry Wishes. And then I have the faceted crystal rounds, then the fancy filigree beads, the coral shell, the faceted round beads in opaque coral, and then the ball charms, and then the champagne luster beads. And then I have some jump rings that I grabbed in a similar color, and this is from my own stash. So I have some of these smaller ones and then some larger ones. And then I also have some bead caps here, and I have a piece of chain. And then I also took this chain out of the Winterberry Wishes bundle from last month. And I think that is about it as far as the beads go. And then this is the cord that I'm using. And you don't have to use this kind of cord. You could use regular beading wire, but this is my preferred cord. So it's the 0.5 millimeter waxed Brazilian cord. And I'm using this brown color here. And then also I have some head pins and eye pins in that brassy color. I have a bead reamer. I have flush cutters, bent nose pliers, and round nose pliers, and a pair of scissors. Okay, and I think that's about everything. So with these beads, these peach beads here, I did have to ream them. The hole is too small to fit on my cord. So even if you use regular beading wire, which of course is smaller, these holes are quite small. I mean, look at how small this hole is. So let me just show you. This is a bead reamer, in case you have not seen one before. If you're new to beading, this is a bead reamer. And what you want to do is take your bead reamer in the hole and just gently twist it around the hole. You could twist the bead or the reamer, it doesn't matter, or a combination of both. And you just want to do that just to make the hole bigger. But you do want to be gentle because the bead can crack from the inside, because as you're doing this, it's shaving some of the bead off. You see there? So you want to be gentle because the bead from the inside can shatter, and then it'll shatter the whole bead. And you just want to take it to both sides and do the same thing, just to make your hole big enough. Now I did all these. So every single one of these shell beads I did. Even if I'm not using them today, I just went ahead and made the hole bigger. So then that way, you know, it'll just be a bigger hole for whatever I'm doing. And then that's the trick. So if your hole is small compared to your wire, then this is what you want to do. So you can do this pretty much to any kind of a bead, but like I said, you just need to be gentle with it. You see how much bigger that hole is now? Now I could try my cord and see if it's going to fit. Okay, see, and that goes through there. So that's all we needed, okay? Okay, so here's my cord, and I cut 3 strands. And I don't really know the length. I mean, I cut them pretty long because I want to make sure that I have a long enough piece. So I would say cut it at least a foot. Well, that's what I do, just because I want to make sure that I do have enough. I would rather have too much than not enough, because you could always cut it and then save your cord for something else. Okay, and I'm not tying these together or anything, because I'm going to work on each strand separately. Okay, since this is wax cord, you do want to form your end into a point. So just like that. And you could even take your scissors and then just cut your end right at an angle. And then form it into your point, and then that's going to help your beads go on a lot easier too. Okay, so like I said, I have my plan kind of laid out here, and we'll add beads or take away beads as needed. So, oh, also, you want a bead stopper. Okay, so I'm going to take my bead stopper and just put it at the end, and then I'm going to start stringing my beads. And I'm going to start with the bottom. So now my bead sizes vary on each row, as you can tell. And so it's like I like a lot of different sizes and texture as I'm beading. That's what I prefer. Sizes, texture, and color. And I do love these colors. I think they are so pretty. So earthy. Very boho to me, which is what I like. That's my style. So we're just stringing along. And I like to use this cord because it's easier for me. And yes, this is going to be way too much cord, but okay, now, let me see. Let me see how long this is so far. Not that long. It's not even 3 inches yet. Okay, I'm going to string a couple more beads. I'm actually going to go ahead and use a bead cap. And let's do, because the bottom row is just going to be this green color. So, I have these peas here, as I call them, and then some of the faceted, I don't know, whatever color that is, brassy kind of a, and then the fancy spacer bead. Okay, I'm going to put another bead cap. Okay, and we'll do one more. Let's see, one more of these. Don't fail me now. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take a jump ring because I want to put my chain on. And this chain is going to be part of the bracelet. So this is not the closure. This is going to be part of the bracelet. Just at the one layer of the bracelet is going to have this chain. So I'm going to take a jump ring and I'm going to put it on my cord. And then I'm going to take this down. Where is it at? Small. I don't know. Do I need a bigger one maybe? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add a bigger one. Okay, these are the jump rings that I'm using, which I got from Amazon, and I will link that for you, as well as all the other items that I use, and as well as Bargain Bead Box website and Bead Box Bargains and their Facebook page. I'm just running my little design here. Okay, so I'm going to take my jump ring and put that on my cord. And then I'm going to take my 2 fingers and wrap the cord with the jump ring around and around my 2 fingers. Make sure this jump ring is inside the loop here. You see? Because that's going to tie the jump ring in to the loop. Otherwise, it's not going to tie. Okay, and oh, I do have knotting tweezers as well. So that I'm going to take my tweezers right up to that last bead there with the jump ring in the loop and then pull it down. Pull it down really good. And then you could go ahead and make one more knot. So same thing around your fingers. Pull that knot through. Put your tweezers right on top of the last knot and pull that down. And then this knot is going to land on top of that last knot. Pull it down tight. And of course, you know, I do like to take a little bit of glue and put on my knot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now so I don't forget. And it's just some brush on glue. It's the same one I use pretty much all the time. Brush it right on my knot so that way the knot is not going to come undone. The knot is not. Okay, so now I have my jump ring on. And like I said, I put a little bit of glue on the knot. So I am going to take my bent nose pliers and my round nose pliers. I'm going to open this jump ring. And this is how you open and close a jump ring. And get it in there. Okay. So I'm going to take my piece of chain, which I cut. It's not a specific length, and I'm going to cut this down anyway, but it is doubled. And like I said, this is the chain from Winterberry Wishes, so it is pretty thin. I mean, as far as the links go. And then I'm just going to stick my chain, so both chains together are going to be attached to my jump ring. And then I'm going to close my jump ring. So just the way that we open it, you close it, make sure that it is closed. Sometimes it looks closed, but then it's not. You look at it from one angle, it's closed, but then the other angle, it's not. So you do have to be careful. And that is closed. Okay. So what I'm going to do with this chain is I am going to hang some charms and stuff from this chain. But I do want to, let's see, I'm going to cut, because I don't want it too big. Okay, so now I'm going to take another jump ring and open this up and then stick the other ends of my chain on this jump ring. And And then close your jump ring up. Okay, so this is our first layer so far. We're not done yet. Okay, we could go ahead and cut this off. So cut off your, where's my scissors? Cut off your cord. Let me go ahead and put a little bit of more glue because I want to make sure this doesn't come off. And then we could burn this in a minute. So we'll wait and we'll do that last. Now I'm going to take this cord. And I didn't tell you, you could give your wax cording a little bit of a stretch. I mean, it's not stretchy, but you just kind of want to stretch the fibers because it will stretch out a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to take this cord and put it through my jump ring. And then go ahead and make a knot. And you want to tie that right down to the jump ring. Do one more. Take my tweezers and pull this knot down so it's nice and tight. Okay, and now I'm going to take my glue again. Put it on my knot. Okay, and now I'm going to put some beads on this cord. Let me see how long this is first. Okay, so this is about 5.5 inches so far. And I want to take this to about 7 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on some more of my greenish color beads. And then also some bead caps. This one still has the wire attached to it. There we go. Actually, let's see, I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to take this off. This is about good. Let me measure. Okay, I think this is about good. It is about 6.5 inches. I don't know. Well, yeah, because we do have to put the clasp on too. So I'm going to leave it like this for now. And, you know, I do lose weight, so I'm guessing my wrist size is smaller than what it used to be. I mean, actually, my shoe sizes too, like my feet, I guess, are, you know, skinnier. So, which is a good thing. I mean, it's definitely, I'm down 82 pounds now. So it is definitely an awesome feeling. I mean, my husband says I have pep in my step, and I do. I mean, I could tell for sure when I walk. I mean, it's just so much easier. I mean, you figure 82 pounds off your body. That is a, you know, substantial amount. So it feels really good, and I'm really proud of myself. So, and I still have, well, about 18 more to go because I wanted to lose 100. So, and then once I get there, if I decide, no, I need to gain a little bit more, or no, I want to go down a little bit more, you know. So, yeah, but 82 pounds is a lot. And it feels good. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take our next cord, and I'm going to take a bead stopper, and I'll say I should have another. Actually, we could go ahead and put a jump ring on this end, because if we need to add any more beads, we'll add it to this end. So go ahead and put a jump ring, and I'm using a smaller one. Okay, so do it the same way we did that first one. Just take it down, bring my fingers around, or bring the cord around my fingers, pull the cord through the loop, make sure the jump ring is inside the loop like this, and then form your loop. Push it right down to that last bead, and then do it one more time. Okay, so I'm going to put my bead stopper on this side now until we decide if we need to add anything to it. So I'm going to leave that one. This one's just going to go to the side for now. Okay, now I'm going to take my next cord. Make sure you cut your tip a little bit, and then make it into a point. And then I'm going to go ahead and string my beads. And where did my bead stopper? Put my bead stopper on first before I string beads. Or is this the end that we cut, or was this the end that we cut? I don't know. This is the end. Okay, so I'm just going to string my beads the way that I have them laid out, and then we will determine if we need to add more. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave these to the side for now and string this one, and then we'll see what we need to add or take away from all of them so that they're about equal in size. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors, cut my tip into a point, and then form my tip into a point, and then just string my beads on this row. Oh, I did forget a bead stopper. Let me see, do I have another bead stopper? Okay, I did find this tiny little bead stopper. But if it, whoop, if it works, it works. Okay, as long as it fits, maybe. As long as it fits on there. I guess I need to ask Santa Claus for some bead stoppers for Christmas, right? Okay, let me continue. I do love these peach or the coral shell. I love these. Like I said, I did ream this hole. And I'm just going to break some of these up with bead caps. So not every one, just sporadically, because that'll give it a little bit more dimension. All right, I know you can fit. I tried it. When I reamed the hole, I tried every single bead to make sure. I like it. I like these bead caps. Let me grab a couple more. Ooh, that's looking really pretty. Let me do a bead cap here. Oopsie. Okay. Okay, so these are our 3 strands. I think they look absolutely beautiful. I love all these colors together. I think these colors are very pretty. It's a very nice bead set. Okay, now we need to make sure that they're all very close to the same length. So let me take off these bead stoppers so I can kind of judge and tell. Okay, so this one obviously is smaller. Okay, I'm going to add one more to this end here. Let me add one of these. Yeah, one more. Okay. I think this is perfect for the most part. Maybe not perfect, but close. That is super pretty. Or should we take one off because we have to put jump ring and, ooh, yeah, I'm gonna take one off of each. I don't want it to be too big. All right, we're gonna clasp it up. Okay, so I have a jump ring on this side, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a jump ring on this side. So I'm using these small ones, and we're gonna attach all of these to one big one. So put your jump ring on your cord and then, oops, well, okay, put your jump ring on your cord, take it down to here and then wrap your cord around your fingers. Make sure your jump ring is inside the loop that we're going to make. Pull your fingers out, pull your cord through. And then take this down to your last bead. Oopsie. Gotta take my tweezers so I don't mess this up. Take your tweezers inside the loop, right on top of that last bead, and then pull your cord down on top of your tweezers, and then take your tweezers and pull your knot down. And I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, and then you could go ahead and take a lighter. I have this electric kind. You can take whichever kind you have. And I'm going to cut my cords. So I'm going to cut this one off. Be very careful not to cut your knot. Take your lighter and just cinch the end a little bit just to make sure that it is sealed. Be very careful. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all these ends, and then I'll be right back. So I'm going to go ahead and put jump rings on all of these ends, and I will be right back. I'm just going to continue to do the same thing with the jump rings. Okay. Okay, guys, so I got everything with jump rings, and then the ends cut off and glued, and, you know, everything done. So now we're going to go ahead and take 2 jump rings and put at each end. So we're going to put all these together and put 1 jump ring on this end, 1 jump ring on this end, and then we're going to attach our clasp. Okay, so let's see how this looks. So I'm using a bigger jump ring for this end. Oopsie. Make sure you have all your jump rings closed up really well. Okay. Oh, this is so pretty. I love it. There we go. Yes, so pretty. Okay, now we have to put on our clasp. Now we're going to go ahead and add, I'm going to use 2 of the smaller jump rings since we don't want to add too much more length to this. So I'm going to add 1 jump ring, and I'm going to hook 1 jump ring to each of the end clasp here, and then hook it to our larger jump ring. Now here comes my kit. I just heard knelt down from the bed, coming to check things out, probably trying to get some food. Make sure your jump rings are closed. Okay, guys, super pretty, and yes, it is a little bit big. I always do that, so I might have to change my jump rings here to maybe a smaller size. That's probably what I'm going to have to do. Okay, so now what we're going to do is make some little charms and just put on our chain right here. If you want to, you could just leave your chain just like that. I think I want to attach one of these with, I don't know, a little something. Oh, maybe one of these. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put a jump ring on here to attach this to my chain, or maybe I'll attach this to the end here. Okay, close this up. And we'll attach this one. Okay, I'm going to attach this little link. That's very pretty. I'm just going to attach this down the line. Let's see, it could be on the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put it on the top maybe. And I'm going to attach maybe a little something. I might make a little charm. That. Yes, this is perfect. Okay, and then let's do maybe this, because then this will match with that. So let me grab one of my head pins. Okay, I'm going to take this and then this, just like that. Strain this up a little bit. And then you can bend this back that. Take your flush cutters and cut this down. And that's probably too much. It always is. Okay, now form a loop. And the problem is this keeps moving. Stay still. Stay still. Okay. Now we need to just open this slightly to put it on our chain. And then go ahead and bend that back in place. Make sure it's all the way closed. Okay, so we have our little charms on here. I think that looks really good. Should we put a little something right here maybe? Or should we leave it? Because that does look good. Same thing, we could add something to this. Okay, we'll try it and see. Okay, guys. Yes, that is super cute. Very cute. I really like this. Ooh, it's so pretty. I do love these colors. I wasn't sure at first when I first saw it, but now, yes, I absolutely love these colors. Oh, so pretty. I really love it. Okay, guys, well, this is how it came out. I think it is so pretty. Very nice. I'm really, really happy with this. It's actually the way that I had imagined it. So it's a very pretty. It could be made, like I said, a little bit smaller. So I'm probably going to have to put some smaller jump rings here and try that out. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm just going to have to figure it out and make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to have to remember from now on to make my bracelets smaller. They don't need to be as large as they used to be. I don't know, maybe if I just took a lobster clasp and just use that instead of this, that would probably work. Let me try that. Okay, guys, well, here is our bracelet. I did go ahead and take off the clasp and just put a lobster clasp instead, so that makes it a little bit smaller, so that way it's not so large. So that pretty much took care of that. Yeah, I think this is just gorgeous. It's just the way that I imagined it. And these beads are super pretty. I mean, it's definitely better than I expected it to be. So, yeah, when I first saw the box, I wasn't sure, but I do love this. And I do love these colors together. I think that is super pretty. You guys let me know what you think. And please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.